So I've been 18 for a handful of months now, and it has only just recently really put me in a very different mental state. Kind of at the point where like I'm figuring out that I am actually an adult now, but I still don't feel like one, and I think that's going to happen for a long time now. I don't really know a point where I'm going to truly feel like an adult um, after, you know, kind of being not one for my entire life. So I feel like that it would just be odd to, off the bat, feel like an adult. This is all just kind of all over the place, and, you know, it's just going to be a lot of just me talking. I apologize, this is a bit weird, or not well put together. I've never done something like a live commentary before. I probably did a long time ago, back when I used to make like some small YouTube videos just for some fun back on my PlayStation, but like nothing like that like made sense, or that I was a real person for like nowadays. But feeling like an adult, I think, is just a very foreign feeling, and I think it is kind of something that you'll never truly know that you're like an adult, or like feeling like, I don't know. Again, I only turned 18 just a few months ago, but again, like I said before, it's only really been that the past month that I've truly felt that I actually have to start doing adult things. You know, for a good amount of my life, or pretty much all my teen years, I was having issues with school. Not in terms of grades, in terms of just actually getting into it. Having issues with family, not being able to get it done, and for a long time, I really just didn't do anything. I don't want to get too into it because this video could be way too long than I anticipate, or that I would really expect. So, not really going to get into all of that right now. It's not necessarily the time for that. But I have to catch up on a lot of things, is pretty much the gist of it all, is that I have to catch up on a lot of just life in general. I have to catch up on school. I have to get a job. I have to learn how to drive, and as much as I don't mind doing that, it's more of the fact of like, I feel like I haven't really had any life responsibility for a long time, and then now it feels very weird all of a sudden just kind of being thrown in and having to get all of these things done in what feels like a certain allotted amount of time because of certain aspects of my life. For example, I might be moving in with some friends in a few years, but like there's a lot I have to get done, and there's nothing that, you know, unless it's a, you know, an absolutely absurd amount of things you gotta do in a certain amount of time, you can usually always get it done in a certain time frame. So, but I just feel like there's a lot I had to catch up on, and a lot I have to do, and I don't really know how to feel about it. But the main thing is I'm just a little scared of failing, or not doing as well as I have to, if that kind of makes any sense. I feel like there's just a lot more pressure on me now than ever, which, I mean, there kind of is, you know. If I want to move out of my, you know, family's house within a reasonable amount of time, I'm gonna have to get shit done, and, you know, I'm gonna have to start working on myself and on everything else in my life, and but it's just scary, you know. with someone that hasn't really been in school for years, you know? And then all of a sudden now I have to get a job, I have to, you know, learn how to drive, and I'm just kind of scared of driving, honestly. I feel like I'm gonna, like, take a wrong turn or go too far, and I'm more worried about fucking up someone else's shit than kind of my own, honestly. I really feel like I'm just gonna mess something up, or, you know, just make a small fuck up somehow, and I don't really want to do that necessarily. And, you know, with my own shit, I don't want to fuck up my own shit either, but I've driven a very little amount, but I've done, you know, I've done my driver's ed test, so I kind of know, like, the very basics and the kind of, like, yeah, here's what to do and here's what not to do kind of thing. Common sense shit that just kind of lets people know that, like, to not be stupid on the road. But an actual driving experience, I have very little to practically none. That'll give me the confidence boost. But I'm someone who lives with depression and anxieties and mental illnesses and all the 9 yards. I don't like going on about it too much because I feel like it's, I don't know if oversaturated is the word, but it's not necessarily the topic also for this, so I don't really talk about it that much. But, you know, I've had my fair share of problems and issues and struggles to go through, which is a whole nother thing, but I definitely think it's in one of the accounts of why I feel like this and why I feel the way of, like, I'm very scared to grow up and, you know, do a lot of shit. But I think the main thing I'm scared of right now is failure. Failure is something that has kind of always plagued me and always been, like, something that, I mean, no one truly wants to fail, but I feel like for me in particular, for my case, it's, I don't want to fail because I feel like that there is a lot that I need. How do I word this? I feel like I haven't done enough in my life to kind of weigh out the failures. Failures hit a lot harder for me personally because I haven't experienced enough failure without, you know, feeling like the way I feel and having the overstimulated depressive emotions that I do on, like, a day-to-day basis. And even on, like, basic things, like, extremely depresses me. Like, I don't even, things like bottom scoring in a game. I've had times where I have to just, I'll be playing with friends, but I have to just, like, get off for the night because I'm just depressed that I'm playing so bad. Because I feel like I've done so little in my life that, you know, if I'm failing at the thing that I consider myself the best at, then, like, what am I good at? You know, like, what's the point? If I've spent so much of my time, you know, getting good at games, playing them, and wanting to be really good at them, and just to, you know, enjoy them, and, but even doing semi-bad at games just puts me in such a bad mental state when it really shouldn't. Even when I'm just, like, running around in, like, casual modes with friends, still, if I end up doing bad, it bothers me, like, a lot. When it's something that I really feel like I shouldn't be bad at because it's the only thing I'm good at. I don't know if anyone really else can relate. I feel like some other people can relate to that, but, like, doing bad at the one thing you're good at fucking, like, hurts. Like, it actually, like, really fucking hurts. Because you get the feeling of, like, if you're bad at this, like, what about fucking life? You know what I mean? If I'm bad at the one thing I'm good at, how am I gonna be good at, like, anything else? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's a thought that depresses me, and it's a thought that I think about, like, a lot. It's just, shit's difficult, man. I also feel like sometimes that I don't have the right to feel the way I feel mentally. Like, I feel like I don't have the right to be this depressive. I don't have the right to feel suicidal. I don't have the right to be feeling all these things. And the reasoning I say that is because, one, I have a very caring and loving family. I've never been through any trauma. I've never been through any, horrible experiences in my life, such as death, abuse, all that. But I have friends who have been through fucking hell and back, who have been through the absolute, ringer, who have been through fucking shit I wouldn't even want to, go through. But, people go through it because it's just life, man. I might have been a little over-exaggerating. It's not... I don't know. I'm not gonna go too in detail of how, bad experiences in loved ones' lives that I haven't gone through. But, it's shit I haven't gone through. But being a person who has the opportunity to be completely fine mentally and be working, really well as, a functioning person, and yet I'm here, I'm suicidal, I'm depressed every day, sometimes cry myself to sleep, kind of scary to admit that, but it sucks, man. I feel like I don't have the right to have these feelings because I haven't been through the reasoning to have these feelings. I'm just kind of depressed because I haven't done anything in my life. So I just sit here and I just feel depressed for no reason, almost, is what it feels like. I've never really told anyone this. I've told a lot of my friends some of my issues and mental problems, and the right people are caring for the right reasons, and the right people, do care and help a lot, but I've never told anyone that I feel like I don't have the right to have this, be mentally ill. I don't know if mentally ill is the right word, but, to have these mental symptoms and issues, and it's getting to the point where I don't even consider myself depressed. I just consider myself kind of lazy, even though that is just wrong. There's a whole thought process I feel like I have with myself is where I feel like I have my brain, my heart, and my mental state. It's kind of something I thought up with one of my first psychiatrists I had not too long ago, where your mental state is your brain's filter to your own self. So, if your mental state is fucked, if your mental state is bad, your thoughts aren't going to get filtered out well. They're not going to be thinking correctly. So you have to keep that filter, clean. You have to keep it right, because if your filter's not correct, if your filter's not good, then your thoughts aren't going to be good either, because your thoughts are going through that filter. That's kind of the thought process that I put behind it. And I've kind of stuck with it. It's always kind of felt good, to think about, and it always has felt pretty correct. I feel like my thought process has really changed over the past, I want to say specifically 2 or 3 years. I feel like I've changed the most. I feel like I've changed a lot these last few months too, when I've turned 18. If you don't keep that filter clean, your thoughts aren't going to be correct. They're not going to go well. So you got to use certain ways to clean up your filter, your mental state and all that shit. But it's just kind of difficult, I don't know how many people can relate. I feel like my situation is really unique, where I haven't really been through anything to have a reasoning to, be like this mentally. It's more just the lack of anything almost that is happening, the lack of forward accomplishments in life to kind of show myself that I'm progressing or that I'm doing well. That is the reason why I've developed all this, because I feel like I don't deserve a lot of these people that I talk to. I feel like I don't deserve my family. I feel like I don't deserve my friends, because I haven't done enough. I haven't done enough done. That's not a good way to word it. I haven't gotten enough done. I haven't, I just kind of sit in my room and play games. I feel like that's pretty much been my life for a few years now, because it's only just recently where I was like, I need to focus up. I need to get this done. If I want to live my life and actually be happy and not go to bed dreading the next day and wake up just forgetting everything and just being like, all right, let's do it again. If I don't want that anymore, I have to fucking just do it. I have to just do it myself. I can't be waiting on anything anymore. Nothing's waiting for me. I have to just fucking go and do it. And I will say, there are a specific group of people who I've not told, but have pretty much given me that mental state, who have indirectly stopped me from doing this for another God knows how many years. I'm 18. I didn't go through any high school. I was homeschooled throughout the whole thing, and that didn't even work out well, so I pretty much just did nothing for like 6 fucking years. I've never had a relationship. I haven't had a very stable social life, I think is what I said. I don't consider myself an antisocial person. I actually really do like talking to people and like meeting new people and like making new friends and other shit like that. But I just don't go out. I don't have a reason to go out. You know, I don't go to school. I don't have a job. That's what I was going to say. I've never had a job. I've never had a relationship. I haven't been to school in like 6 years. I just play games. That is pretty much all I do. And you know, spending a lot of your life just sitting here and doing nothing, spending most of your teen years where you actually mature into like a person, you start to actually like realize life and like what's going on and like how shit is going to get done and what shit needs to get done. It makes you realize how difficult life truly will be at the start. And what I mean at the start is like when you actually start getting a job, working the hours, you know, driving, and it's hard for me to gauge the difficulty of life because I've not lived it. I haven't lived a life, I think is a good way to put it. I've just kind of lived like I've been spectating. This is a kind of a dumb way to put it, but I've just been spectating life for the past fucking 18 years with like highlights of me jumping in. But you kind of get to the point where you need to like focus up and do it. And as scared as I can be of actually getting shit done and getting a job and driving, it needs to get done for me to be happy. The happiness is kind of what drives life. I think most people can agree with that, or most people can already know that or see that. But obviously if you're not happy, what's the point kind of thing, you know? So, but I think a not bad in conclusion is I am scared because it's difficult to cope with failure for me. So getting out there and living the life seems very scary, but I think at the end, sitting here and just kind of talking and making my thoughts more digestible has kind of eased the scaredness a little bit. This is my first time ever doing a live commentary of any kind, or just sitting here and just talking into a microphone, so sorry if I'm bad at it or I taper off a lot in my at certain points, but sitting here just talking to the mic and really helps your thoughts like open up, and it really helps you filter your thought process. Because sitting there and just thinking, it's only really in your brain. There's only a lot you can do, but having it out in the real world, whether it be written down, whether it be typed or whatever, or just saying it like I am, it really does help go through all the scenarios and really make you feel a lot better once it's just said. So yeah. In conclusion, I think I am still a little scared to become an adult. Because I feel like I haven't even lived out being a teenager. And I'm really scared of failure. But I think I'm ready to kind of take on everything and to get shit done. Thanks for listening. I don't know how many more I'm going to do of these. I don't know if anyone's even going to watch this, but I guess it's the thought that counts. Thanks for sitting here for, I don't know, however long this is going to be, and helping me go through my thought process. Yeah. Hope you have a good morning, good night, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you. But I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.